Shalom. Nice to see you, although I don't actually see you, but I see you in chat. Mensa Girl. Shalom. Everybody else. Skip Not. Richard Archer. Suzanne Dawson. Everybody. Shalom. It looks like Globing, so they have a problem defending their globe. Just recently, I offered a 1973 Ford Cortina, fully MOT'd. It's been MOT'd today. For any globeling who could model with a physical globe the equinox. No takers. Yesterday I made a video explaining subtle differences with the globe in terms of an idea and the practicality, the physicality of a globe. You see, globe earthers think whatever the predictions, which are based on observations, they must be predictable because it's a globe. It's like, no, it's predictable because of a series of observations. That's all. So I have something for you. First, I want to say this. Most globelings do not have globes at home. How can that be the case? You know how when people were saying that the flat earth was a conspiracy theory started by Nikon to sell their P900? Oh yeah, that was me that said that. I think it was Playmobil, and it was a strategy to sell lots and lots of globes to flat earthers. So I have a couple of things to show you, and it's just, if only globe earthers would check. If they checked, they'd say, actually, we're not all as stupid as they think we are. We're not all as corrupt as they think we are, and we're not all their enemies. We're trying to wake people up so that they will have a better life. You know? But, okay, so let me get my thought straight. Here. Okay, so I can minimize this. Yes. Okay. I have this. I have this. And where I have the other thing? Where I have it? Give me a second. Ah, there I have it. Okay. This is a special dedication mainly to Polster X. This is a globe. This is playing the role of the equinox in March, where the next season coming up is the summer in the north. Oh, what do I have here? I have, well, I'll show you. Come on, play with me. Good. By the way, if you hear strange sounds like there's a dragon, it's my cat. He thinks he's a dragon lately. I have a tab in Western Uganda and a tab in Murmansk. And the tab is to the west of the longitude, okay? Now, I could have straddled the equator, but I didn't want to because that would raise this tab a little bit on this border. But that's not really, don't worry too much about it. Now this will be playing the role of the equinox in September, as the Earth zooms up and ahead of the sun to be at 90 degrees in June 22nd over the Tropic of Capricorn. Let's see those tabs again. Here we have the tab for Uganda. Oh, we don't have the tab for Murmansk yet. Let's see when we have the tab for Murmansk. Oh, I think we might have seen it then, but look at where the tab for Uganda is, huh? Let's see if we see it this time. Oh, we see a little bit of it there. But here's the tab for Uganda. Let's do that again. Oh, didn't even really see the tab for Murmansk. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying as best as I can to have this facing the camera so that I can roll the Earth to the east towards daybreak and show with this that they're on the same longitude. Unfortunately, this distorts a hell of a lot. It's transparent, it distorts a lot. So we're going to have to imagine that we can see through it. This top corner of Murmansk, when this reaches the center, which you won't see properly, you'll have to do a CGI version of this, Globlings. This will also reach the center. It will appear like it isn't doing, but it will. Okay? It's not quite facing the camera. You can see that small curve. Now it's a bit better, but it's still not quite facing the... Ah, well, okay. You see how this bends? The corner is now about to reach the center. Even though you can see this space, there's space here too. There's distortion there too. Now this is reaching and this has reached. And now, oh, this has gone all the way past and this has moved a tiny bit. Well, this is moving more than twice the distance as this, isn't it, after all? So let's see some more. I'm going to show it again for the Globlings, who will say, no, you're lying, you're cheating. You could, if you wanted, zoom in and see whether or not this is on the western border of Uganda and whether or not this is right at Murmansk. Let's move ahead now, because perhaps that wasn't clear enough, what with this being transparent. And okay, so let's jump ahead, because I have this globe. So I repeated it on this globe. Let's watch. I'm making sure that the tabs, I've just transferred the tabs over. They're nice and thin. I'm making sure they're nice and flat, you know, to not skew anything. Good gosh. See, I'm trying to make sure it's nice and flat. Going to pause it. Whoops. I was going to pause it as soon as we could see this. Well, now we're starting to see this. In fact, we started about maybe half a second ago. But we can see this quite clearly, can't we? Well, let's continue. I do it several times. And that was the March equinox, and this would be the September equinox. I paused it as soon as I saw this. However, look at Uganda. Good gosh. That is the same longitude, by the way. Now, so that people understand, people like Polster X, who might have an academic understanding of geometry, but not a practical understanding. Here we have a circle that's playing the role of a sphere. Here we have another sphere, same size. This is only to show diameters, okay? So distance, okay. We see that from the center of this sphere, and this is to see how far away you have to be to see 50% of a sphere, okay? That's what this is. If you have a circle, you place another circle or a ball and another ball, and the center of that ball is your distance to the center line, well, you're going to see to here and here. You're not going to see the entirety of the ball. Of course not. Let's double that. You have to forgive this little patch here. That's just from the cut and paste. So from here, we're going to see, well, a little bit more, obviously. Now let's go to here. We're going to see, well, a bit more, obviously. Then let's go to here. These are the light blue lines. Oh, almost at the very top. And then let's go from this one. Let me move it to the edge of the screen. This is reaching the top. You're not going to see any more than this, no matter how far away you are. All you need to see 50% of a sphere is to be 4 spheres diameter away. That's what this is. Here's 1. See, I put numbers in it so you could, like, you know, play along, Polster X. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in terms of diameters, we're going from here, aren't we? This 1, 2, 3, 4. This, because we counted this area here. This is not distance. We're counting distance from here. So this, from here on onwards, from here, as long as you're more than 4 diameters away, you're going to see 50%. Okay? See the suspended mark here, the dot, dot, dot? From here, you're going to see just as much as from 1,000,000 miles away with a telescope. So I have over here, at a bigger distance, purple. Let's go over, see where purple touches the circle. Same place, of course, same place. In fact, it's the same place as this, you know. But here, same place. The light blue line is this one here. Oh, I called this little drawing Geometry Rules. So this establishes, without any doubt, and you can repeat it at home as many times as you like, with spheres, how many spheres distance away you need to be to see half of a sphere. Now, for those of you who don't know this was one of my very first arguments on YouTube on behalf of Flat Earth against Globelings, who were saying that the image of the blue marble was, it wasn't fair to use that, because it wasn't far away enough to see the entire half of the earth. Okay, and I've just shown with this, and you can do it at home, and you can do it without drawings. You can do it with laser levels. You can do it with, well, anything rigid. You could do it with spaghetti. You really could. Just mark where the spaghetti touches, and you'll see. Now, the reason I show this is to just compound the fact that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was about 12 short yards. That's a heck of a lot more than 4 diameters away. What does this mean, Globelings? Do you think that if you were farther away, you would see more of the sphere? Like purple, which is farther away than the dark blue, would be showing more of the sphere. You cannot see more than 50% of a sphere. We're talking center of the sun, not top and bottom. Don't get twisted in your imagination. We're talking center of the sun. This is why Globelings are afraid of globes. They're afraid of globes. This is why they don't test with globes. This is why they don't test with flat surfaces when they're trying to replicate a globe-only photograph. Instead, they do it through computer rendering. Why not just use a flat surface? If it works perfectly on the flat surface, you know if you add an element of curvature, it's not going to work. Because let's face it, also, when you model it on a flat surface, you're not really going to have, you're going to have maybe 10 meters, 5 meters, 2 meters, it doesn't matter. The point is, you're not going to have refraction play much of a role. But what role does refraction play? Does it hide things beyond the curvature? Does it raise things? Does it hide things a little bit, but also lens them? It's moot, isn't it? But if you can replicate it on a flat surface and you then try to curve that surface, you're going to fail, aren't you, Slice Barkane? Aren't you, Sean Hawkins? You are, aren't you? And this is why you don't do it. This is why you're afraid of your own globes. I have 3 globes. I have 3 of them. You've seen 2 of them now. Why don't you guys get globes and check? You've had flat earthers telling you it doesn't actually work. We've been telling you. The real world has been observed for millennia, for eons, for as long as the sun has been stable and the stars and planets stable, which is when the Maya buggered off. Okay? Okay. Since then, observations. Before then, observations. Before then, by the way, Julian calendar for observations worked perfectly fine. Oops, things changed. Gregorian calendar to accommodate for those changes, and then everything worked fine for observations. but not on a globe. So why don't you get globes and check? One of the things I'm planning to do is an equinox test, but I'm going to see whether to bother or not with a globe, because I'm going to see how this goes down. I'm going to see whether any globelings try to debunk this, try to replicate this and debunk this. Not just debunk it with words, no, debunk it by repeating it. If they don't bother, then I won't bother doing the equinox. Because to do the equinox, I have to set up a dark box, a shadow box, which is it's doable, but it's a pain in the backside. And then film it from the side, so the camera has to be inside the dark box to see a nice contrast shadow. I already have distance enough to place a lamp. It doesn't have to be, as we see from the illustration, it doesn't have to be as far as the sun in the heliocentric model for it to illuminate 50%. It's going to be more than 4 diameters away, that's for sure. But for the globalists to say, well, you can't model it because, it's like, no, you don't understand geometry. You really don't understand geometry. You were taught, follow these principles and you will pass. But you weren't taught, follow these principles, test them, report your results, and then you'll pass based on whether or not your observations have been good enough. No, of course not. You were just told, repeat these steps and you'll pass. And along comes an artist like me, shows you the diagram, says, repeat it yourself at home, make it physical if you like, because geometry applies to the physical world. When you start abstracting geometry, saying that geometry does things it doesn't do, like doubling a cube, Wolf is 60-20, you're playing fantasy. So repeat it. Make the drawing I've done. Make it out of paper and pen, if you like. Make it with computer. It doesn't matter. Make it however you want. You're not going to illuminate more. You're not going to see more than 50% ever. And you won't see more than what you'll reach from 4 diameters away. To be more relaxed, 4.5 diameters away. Now I'm going to go in the chat, see if there are any globelings going, no, but, which they love to do. Let's see. Maybe if the light source was larger than the Earth, then his piece of tape would have matched reality. Really? That's H2O water. Okay. Just for him. Poor dim. Can you see this? This is a drawing with straight lines and circles. The circles are playing the roles of spheres. This vertical line is playing the role of, well, 50% of the sphere. The center is simply there to measure distance in terms of diameters from the center. Obviously from here, let me show you again, from right nearby, this would be your limit. Same at the bottom. From farther away, your limit would shift north and south. From farther away still, a bit more. And then from here, it would come to, well, let's see, can't quite see, but it comes to, well, here, just about halfway. And then the next one definitely halfway. And then any others halfway. And H2O water, we're talking about the center of the sun, not the extremities. Okay? The center of the sun. See, the center of the sun is seen in the real world at dawn and at dusk. The center of the sun is seen. So, repeat this. Place yourself a dot farther away, make it as far as you like. Remove all of the other lines and see whether you can illuminate more than 4.5 diameters. Okay, H2O water. Okay. The cognitive dissonance. Maybe if, and I've had some flat earthers saying, oh, Antonio, I think you might have messed up there. It's like, have a look, for goodness sake. Now remember, according to the globe, the location to first see the sun in the September equinox, that was the second equinox. So, you know, I showed 2 equinoxes, the second equinox, where you could see Uganda way ahead of the north. In reality, the place that sees the sun first is Murmansk. You see, the real world isn't a sphere. This is what we flat earthers have been trying to tell you for a long time. The real world is not a sphere. If it was a sphere, it would play along to the geometry of a sphere, but it doesn't. And if you look at the details of some of the guys who first proposed a sphere, you'll see that they were proposing it as a thought, not as a reality. They were saying, we can calculate things from this standpoint. Not that it is a sphere. Claim there's a distortion involved in perspective with that too. There is, but there's no way I can bring that into the world of the globelings. Are already bamboozled. Flat Earth data. I just found the video from a glober, debunking his own sphere ball. His fix was to angle the poles flat to match longitudes. Well, hey, it's to their own. So, you know, globelings, in the real world, the place that sees the sun first is Murmansk. And some of you will obviously be struggling, saying, what's happening is Murmansk is seeing the sun first because of refraction. But then I'll remind you to go and watch some of your own globling videos regarding refraction for the equinox, and you'll see that the angle, remember when I said equinox? If you're going to come and meet me and you're a globling, you have to do this to let me know that it's you. Equinox. This shape. Because this one is supposed to take longer. Okay, so Murmansk. This should take longer than this at the equator, aka Uganda. Also, you mustn't forget, globling, the refraction that's acting in Murmansk is also acting in Uganda. So when we first see Murmansk, you can imagine that the sun would have seen it a little bit earlier, you know, because of the bend. But then the sun would do the same to Uganda, except a little bit earlier still. But wait a minute, when we first see Murmansk, we can already clearly see Uganda. This is why you don't check your globes. This is why you're afraid. This is why you have this disquieting thing in you, globelings. And I know you have it. There are two types of globelings. The ego-centered globeling, who will not let go of the globe because you think yourself superior to me and other flat earthers. It's fine if you're wrong. And then there's the globeling who doesn't really know one way or another, looks and goes, oh yeah, it's flat earth. Mensago, what are the sunrise sunset times for Murmansk and Uganda on the equinox? I showed it yesterday, Sasha, but I will show it again now. 1 second. I might as well show what I'm doing whilst I'm doing it. Okay, so this is Suncalc. We're going to go to Uganda. We're going to go to September 22nd. We're going to go to sunrise. 6:40. Now we're going to go to Murmansk, and that's UTC +3. Ooh. Oh, gosh, I was going to say, what the? 6:25. So although in the video, in the physical world, with physical globes, Uganda sees the sun first, in the real world, Murmansk sees the sun 15 minutes before Uganda. So 6:25 for Murmansk. This is when approximately half of the sun is visible. If I move 1 minute, there you go. Okay? See? Minus 0.25, that's half of the sun. Suncalc is measuring from, well, half of the sun up and half of the sun down. So what, the other way around at sunset? Okay, so 0.25, half of the sun up, the center of the sun. Great. Uganda, that's UTC +3, Murmansk. Uganda, 6:40. Move that 1 minute, oops. Minus 0.1. Remember, on the physical globe, Uganda sees the sun first. In the real world, it sees it 15 minutes later. And by the way, that's from here. I had the longitude, so approximately here. Which makes it just a bit worse for Uganda. Well, for the globe, I mean. Okay. So, longitude, east 30. Let's see now. Let's see what's scrabbling the east 33, Murmansk. Great. Let's go to east 33. Uganda. Oh, okay, that will do. Here, east 32. Very good. Let's move a little bit this way to east 33. Oh dear, can you see how I'm moving east? Meaning, now bearing in mind, on the globe, this, where I'm drawing now with my cursor, is where I placed the marker. If I place the marker slightly more ahead, we will see it even sooner. Okay. Okay. It just doesn't actually really work. What you think are observations based on a globe are not. They're observations based on repeated observations. The cycles repeat. You should know this already, because when comets like Hale-Bopp come along, catch everyone by surprise. You think they would have explained, oh, there's a comet coming in 3 months' time, but they didn't. Hale-Bopp, which Magic Mind Dan thought was Halley's Comet. But hey, you know. So there you go. I'm looking at the globelings. What's happening with the globelings? Flat Albert, what do you think of Globebusters' push on the concept of incoherent magnetism to support gravity? If it's incoherent, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's another way of saying through not known processes. We'll figure out what the processes are. I'm seeing, well, let me see. 29 thumbs up, 118 people watching, maybe 20 people in chat. Why are the globelings quiet? Yeah, why are the globelings so quiet? I'm just scrolling through the chat, just rolling to allow comments, which for some reason, oh, now even the word idiot is banned. Oh, those fragile minds. What's happening, globe believers? Let me show you one more time. What I'm willing to put what I'm willing to put up, and I'd say, you know, not to completely shit on Woofy6020, who offered to house me in a 5-star hotel that he gets free because of his extra miles and stuff, and a laptop if I go to Australia and show a flight plan on my flat earth map, forgetting altogether about his part of the deal, which was for him first to produce a video showing the appropriate gyroscopic drift for his location. He says he made one, he claims he made one, he took a screen grab of having posted a video saying, for Antonio, gyroscope, see? Something like that. But the video's not visible, it's not there, nobody can actually see it. And he was complaining at the time that he couldn't quite balance his gyro. So, anyway, he forgets that. So he offers this 5-star hotel. I say, no thanks, no, it's okay. I'll skip the 5-star hotel. And I'll skip the shiny toy, the laptop, don't need it. And he's like, why not 5-star hotel? I'm like, dude, because I'll stay wherever I want. Anyway, so all of that stuff that he was offering was free, apart from the laptop, which for all I know might have been free too. The reason I say all of this is I recently offered this. And like I said, it's MOT'd. 12-month MOT. Go and check the databases if you like. This is my car. This is a classic Ford Cortina. I'm happy to give this away to any globeling who can accurately model on a globe the equinox. Nobody has taken the offer. It's like, okay, you know, you could, if you're not into cars, you could just sell it. I mean, you could, if you're not into cars, you could win it and then burn it and say, haha, whatever. But that you're not actually accepting the offer, that none of you dare actually try, that says a lot. A lot. Dumb and Dumber. I say, model things on a globe. You refuse. You say, no, I need a very distant sun. I say, what for? You don't need a distant sun. You just need the centre of the sun. And that has to be, well, 4 Earth diameters away. Now, just let me just check. I'm pretty sure blue marble. Just bear with me. Ugh. The original blue marble image by NASA. Oh, image? Why not photograph? Image taken. Okay, let me see. How far away was supposedly the vehicle? Oh, come on. I'm reading through the page. Right. By the way, when I first started making YouTube videos, flat Earth YouTube videos, which is what I first started doing YouTube videos for, you could use time and date and go back to the date of the blue marble. You can't now. Strange. You can't check details for that date. So I'm checking for the distance that the shot was supposed to have been taken at. Strangely, I'm not finding it. I don't know whether the page has been edited. Or maybe it's because I'm live and a bit distracted. Anyway, it was more than 4 Earth diameters away. So, oh, I think so. Anyway, let me see. 1 hour 54 minutes after the spacecraft left its parking orbit. I can't be bothered. I can't. I was going to look. What speed was it travelling? You might as well ask how fast Santa Claus travels. Anyway, so it's a surprise, isn't it, Globelings? You could, if you wanted, you could purchase a globe or 3 and check. You might be curious to find. You might be interested to find that if they're 3, I mean, you don't just buy 3 identical globes. If you buy 3 Earth globes of different sizes, they won't match. The distances between areas won't match. How can that be the case? Okay, Flat Earth Data, I'm going to give you a wrench. Pass me a link and I'll play it. And a few flat earthers. Antonio, I think you might be mistaken there. And I really thought, well, didn't you think? Wait a second. I think I'll do some drawings and I'll measure and see how far you have to be to reach 50%. The Earth is not flat, but more interesting than that, you assume way too much. We should see if Antonio would do a hangout on that topic. On what, Josh? Yeah, flat Earth data. I've given you a wrench. So you can paste the link. So Josh is watching a video where I've shown the globe doesn't actually work as globe believers believe it to work. And instead of actually dealing with that, it's like, the Earth is not flat. Yes, it is. Do you want to show the Google Earth and rotate southwards towards Antarctica from the equator? It shows that Antarctica doesn't show up until the Arctic is well out of the picture. Angel Fire 451. That's a good point. Yeah, let's see how far away we can get on Google Earth. Oh, sorry, flat Earth data. Dude. Okay, try again. Right, yes. The wrench hadn't landed. There you go, you've got one now. I'll go to Google Earth. My friend, Google Earth. You know, Google Earth. Nah. I'll keep that comment to myself. Okay. 63,000 kilometers. Okay. So let's see. Let's just double check. What I'm going to do is so flat Earth data. Whilst you share that, I'm going to show this with Google Earth, and then I'll show the video you're talking about. So what am I doing? Yes, I am sharing the display. What I'm going to do, because the grid is so, well, it's yellow and the boundaries are yellow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a red circle around the Arctic. So from here to here. Okay, save. Then that goes red. Yeah, pretty good. That will do. And now I'll do the same here. These circles, that circle there was added yesterday, thanks to Harry Bird. Fresh look at truth. And there you go. Oops. Yeah, let's put it like so, and then let's move this. That will do. Save. Okay. And now we'll get rid of the grid. And we will see Arctic Circle will go away. And, oh, interesting. Well, first, you might notice that the Earth is now transparent. See here? Huh. Your Earth is transparent, guys. Look. Can you see? It's like, oh, it's like it's transparent. Tell you what, I'll show you something pretty weird with Google Earth soon. So, yeah, now you can see Antarctica. And now, before we go, and watch the video that Flat Earth Data is going to share. Let's go into the north. Let's just remind ourselves where they're. Right there. Wonderful. Right there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Wow. Underwater. Wow. Amazing. I'm just going down and down and down, down. Oops. Don't know what's happened there. Oh, seems to have reached a limit of some type. Oh, okay. So let's go up. I'm wondering if they fixed. Oh, I think it might be here. Let's go. We're going into the depths of the North Pole. See if we reach a limit again. Oh, something weird happened there. Huh? I'm trying to show something I found some time ago. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. I think they might have fixed it. Yes, they fixed it. You can go into a different world beyond. Well, let's see. Let's try again. Let's go. See if we can go in here. See one of my old videos, by the way, what I'm talking about. And I will try one more time. Somewhere else. Okay, reach the limit. Let's go back up. Very good. Now let's, where was it? Let me see if I can remember where it was. I think it might have been around here. Let's see. I'm just going to try one more time. It's just so very, very interesting. So strange. Showed it to a GlobeLink friend of mine who knows all about computers. And he's like, no idea what this is. Oh, what happened there? Did you see that banding that happened? No. Yeah, what is this? Huh? There you go. That's what I was talking about. Hey, where are we? Huh? This is why some of you guys love me. Our eye altitude is minus 2,803 meters. So almost 3 kilometers. Well, what do we have here? Let's see what happens if we go let's see, wait, I know. Let's see what happens if we try and put a fella here. Oh, I don't know if it will work. Oh, I'm on ground level view. Well, that's interesting. Now, you know when you're on ground level view and you click somewhere, so you move in that direction, right? Now you might hear I'm clicking. I tell you what, I'll do it here near the compass and whatnot, and watch these little flecks. So click. Oh, looks like I'm moving. It's an underwater world. Oh man, what is this? What is this in different color? Let's move towards it. Must be leftover programming that they just left there. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting. This is Google Earth, ladies and gentlemen. Google Earth Pro. Don't you know? All I'm doing is I'm moving towards whatever that is. Tell you what will be very, very freaky if right now a monster jumped at the screen. That would be, yeah, but. I'm still moving, just moving ahead, moving towards this region of slightly different coloured, well, things that must have been, well, instruction must have been given to the computer to render these small patches of different colours at 3 kilometres down under the North Pole, apparently. Ish. I can't seem to move very fast, but I'm still moving. Like when I tap, you look at the right of the screen, you can see I'm still moving. Gosh, a very far distance away. And now we're at 81 north, 120 west. It says 1984 here. No idea, I've never seen that before. The heck is this? Huh. Image Landsat Copernicus. Oh, really? These images of the underwater world under the North Pole. Oh, what did I just see there? Over here, I saw a little something. Was it a submarine? Was it a submarine? Oh. Anyway, enough of that. Let's see what Flat Earth data wanted to share. You're in the Google, the Abyss. Yes. So where's the thing? Yeah, dude, I couldn't put some skates on. I have to say, we do definitely have the best insults. Ball licking morons. Hey. Right, Flat Earth data. I'm looking. Link sent. Got it. So I will play it. Just give me a sec. Sundials need a little help. Who's this from? Oh, it's Flat Earth Data. Oh, is this you? Ah, I see.
Local sundial shows 10 a.m. Moving north, we see that our pole sundial does not agree. It displays the correct time as 10:30. The local sundial, here in the Ottawa Valley, is displaying the wrong time. Setting our local dial to 11 a.m. reveals a similar problem. The sundial at the North Pole indicates the correct time is 11:15. Setting our local sundial to 12 noon and moving north, we find that this time the sundial at the North Pole agrees. With the North Pole is because at the pole, the gnomon, the shadow casting post, is parallel to the Earth's axis. The
Only at the equinox. That would only ever apply during the equinox.
At the equator is actually at 90 degrees to the Earth's axis, and the gnomon in the Ottawa Valley is actually at 45 degrees to the Earth's axis. Aligning the sundial so that each gnomon is parallel to the Earth's axis solves the problem.
Oh, what?
That all three sundials display the same time. This is true when they share the same longitude.
No, it isn't.
The key to sundial construction is to design your sundial so that the gnomon is parallel to the Earth's axis.
No, it isn't. That's just so wrong. That's just trying to say, look, if your sundial doesn't appear to be working like you thought it might work, it's because it works a different way, silly. I'm going to play that again. Thanks for that. Sundials need a little help on the ball.
The local sundial shows 10 a.m. Moving north, we see that our pole sundial does not agree. It displays the correct time as 10:30. The local sundial, here in the Ottawa Valley, is displaying the wrong time.
Wait a second, that's a bit of a... That's very messed up. I mean, what time is he talking about? UTC? Is he offsetting UTC? Never mind.
Setting our local dial to 11 a.m. reveals a similar problem. The sundial at the North Pole indicates the correct time is 11:15. Setting our local sundial to 12 noon and moving north, we find that this time the sundial at the North Pole agrees.
So at 12 noon, it agrees. Let me just go back because I think I saw a little sleight of hand there. Just going back one frame at a time. Huh. It's curious. That's not agreeing. I take it that's supposed to be at the equator, like the Galapagos Islands. That's not agreeing. But it must be just, you know, he aimed the light wrong or something.
But the North Pole is because at the pole, the gnomon, the shadow casting post, is parallel to the Earth's axis.
That's perfectly fine. Any time other than the supposed globe equinox, this pole would be, well, at solar noon, this pole would be the base of it, instead of being here, would be, well, let's go for the June solstice, would be about here. Okay? Got nothing to do with this is just wow. The number of ways in which this is wrong. Somebody could write a paper on it.
The gnomon at the equator is actually at 90 degrees to the Earth's axis.
Wonderful. 90 degrees at the Earth's to the Earth's axis during the equinox. Wonderful. But any time other than the equinox, and the equinox is supposed to be just 2 days of the 365 and a quarter days. So all of the other times should be perfectly fine. Right?
And the gnomon in the Ottawa valley is actually at 45 degrees to the Earth's axis.
Yes, that's perfectly fine. So when all of these longitudes are lined up, so let's go back. When all of those longitudes are lined up, the shadows should all of them point north. And as you roll, well, the sun's supposed to scroll across the sky at 15 degrees per hour, right? So if you roll 15 degrees, so it should then just show an hour for every 15 degrees. But that doesn't quite happen, does it? Wow.
Actually at 45 degrees to the Earth's axis. Aligning the sundial so that each gnomon is parallel to the Earth's axis solves the problem.
No. Disguises the problem. It doesn't solve the problem. It disguises the problem.
That all three sundials display the same time. This is true when they share the same longitude. The key to sundial
Doesn't look like this one's matching. Can you see? Small yellow gap. Small yellow gap. No small yellow gap.
Instruction is to design your sundial so that the gnomon is parallel to the Earth's axis.
Wow, dude. That was awesome. I wish I'd seen that before. I would have... never mind. Wow. Yeah, okay. What can you do? What can you do? When you have people going, well, the Earth is a ball, but the shadows don't work like they should work on a ball. We think that it's a ball because of shadows. So you think that shadows, nothing to do with aligning to the axes, would work, right? I mean, that's what Eratosthenes thought. Never mind. Okay, back in the chat. Thanks for that, flat earth data. Saying it in English. I find it so wrong. I really do. It's just data. But no, it's data, I say. Earthycast Antonio, are there stickers on the bottom of your globe that says for entertainment purposes only? No. Angel Fire. Ah, yes, if you get closer. Yeah, but... So there's one globe link. Oh, there's two. Oh, I was just reading a comment, and it just jumped up a bit. Oh, this is why sundials have a slant on them. It says H2O water. You did Bass. Antonio, you are Solomon. תודה רבה. אבל לא. Not for educational purposes, some say, says Lee Redpath. I have seen that on globes. Not for educational purposes. Like, why not? Aren't they used specifically for educational purposes in schools? But it's like, yeah, but don't look too closely. It's just to get the idea of it. You know, the idea of a ball. Yeah, because children don't know about balls. Yeah, it's a ball. Ooh. Angel Fire 451. Oh my God. I'm going to use this in a debate. He writes, speaking of Eratosthenes, how is it Columbus thought he was in India after 36 days from leaving the Canaries in 1492? Maybe Columbus didn't know about him. Interesting, huh? I thought everybody knew about it because they're like, it's 2,000 years, more than 2,000 years ago. But 1,500 years after Eratosthenes, Columbus thought that he'd reached India. How tiny did he think was that ball? P. Murray Level Earth UK. First one I saw was my second day of school. Yeah, not for educational purposes, but we can use them for educational, right? Yeah, sure. That's just how it goes. I think I found Wolfie Antonio. Will face you the YouTube link. Basamosa. Okay, cool. Oh, back to geometry, because I've called this geometry rules. You can't double a cube. It's kind of, you don't really have to start trying to double a cube. You can think, go, oh yeah, of course. Like, not just absolutely not doable. What is it that you're doubling? Are you doubling, it's a cube, so the face is a square. You can't just double a square because, well, it's a square. You're going to have to at least, well, 1, 2, and 3 to make another square. That would be, well, cubed. But not really, because it's one face. So it would be quadrupled. But you can go with cubed. But you can't double a cube. So Wolfie 6020, a pilot who's worked for the military, the Australian military, and ambulance and all kinds of heroic things, thinks that he can double a cube. And I said before doing this live hangout, I pointed out to some globelings, I said, watch this space, because you know how before the feather and hammer drop, you just didn't believe it? And then feather and hammer drop and all kinds of excuses, but still feather and hammer drop. Same with this. I showed that my last 2 hangouts before this were covering over the same point. It's the same point. I tried to make an artificial horizon, not an artificial horizon, an astronomical horizon, to place a disc on the plate. It wasn't working. H2O water is interesting globe link. I was reading a comment of his. Speaking of shadows, the solar eclipse that just occurred, was it the moon crossing in front of the sun? Or do any of those in the chat that it was Rahu or some other unknown celestial body? H2O. If you think that the sun is a big ball of nuclear fusion 93 million miles away, there is absolutely no chance you're going to get your head around what causes an eclipse. None. Like, none at all. Right, anyway. So, yeah, Angel Fire. Yeah, of course. He thought he was on the small globe model. Columbus. Of course, why wouldn't he? you're asking. Ah, okay, well, that's good. First, H2O, that would be water. Yeah, so you write H2O, water. Just imagine for a second, and this goes specifically to you, H2O, water. Imagine for a second that it was true that the Earth was flat and you'd been taught that it was a ball. That the sun, which is an electrical phenomenon, is really a thermonuclear phenomenon. Very far away, burning hydrogen, which somehow it collected before becoming a sun, and then it became a sun. Okay, so, but never mind that. So, big ball of fire far away, and you're on a ball. You were taught that. Imagine that both of those things are false. The sun is not a big ball of fire. It's just a hollow prismatic glare. And the Earth is flat. Okay? Do you think you might have been misled into thinking that water is H2O? Imagine if somebody said to you, oh yeah, you know gold is actually, and told you that it was a compound. It isn't. It's its own thing. But water is H2O. No, water is not H2O. When I made the video showing Stanley Meyer's car and all of the other hydrogen-driven cars now, I was repeating what Stanley Meyer was saying. I was kind of paraphrasing, you know, the splicing of water to release hydrogen. That's pretty much what he was saying. That's not what's really happening. The water is releasing hydrogen. The water is releasing hydrogen by dissolving the salt. There has to be salt in it. Without the salt, nothing happens. Okay? Minuscule amount of salt. But you can't get that much hydrogen from a minuscule amount of salt. You don't know how hydrogen happens. You don't know how water happens. You don't know how salt happens. But you say that salt can't release that much hydrogen by being dissolved and electrolyzed, or modulated by a reaction that you also don't understand. And I'm not referring to you, H2O water. I mean all the globelings. Peter and Pete, sorry, I always say that wrong. It's Pete and Peter, have shown conclusively water is not H2O. If it was H2O, it would be conductive. It is not conductive. But yeah, when I said that, quite a few flat earthers like, Antonio, water's not H2O. You can't release hydrogen from water. I'm like, I was only repeating it so that we don't lose all of the globulins, because they're going through a bit of cognitive dissonance watching the video. Can't say, oh yeah, and just throw that at them. It's too much. What I've decided to do, by the way, because what I've been doing, and I think maybe I should have not been doing this, is covering a whole series of different topics in Hangouts instead, and it makes it very easy for globelings to go, well, can't address that. Oh, I can address this. Yeah, because he said it's kind of yellowish. It's not really. It's more of an amber. Like that kind of thing. So we'll argue about it being amber instead of all the other things. Okay. So I'm going to just focus on one subject, one topic at a time. Today is the longitudes, how it doesn't actually work. The globe doesn't actually work. It doesn't really reflect the real world. If the real world was a globe, the physical globe, would reflect that. The physical globe does not reflect that. Therefore, the physical globe is not analogous to the real world. It's just not analogous to it. In the same way that Santa Claus putting gifts under the tree is not analogous to parents putting gifts under the trees. Yes, there are gifts under both scenarios, but in one of them there's real human beings who went and bought those gifts, and in the other there's a magical old man who sneaks in and disappears. Okay? It's not analogous. Analogous has to match more than just one element in the analogy. So no, it's, yeah. So I'm covering one topic at a time. H2O water. Most of the people in the chat here are civil. If you go to, there'll be certain YouTube flat earth channels that will not be civil. And you know, you can't police everyone, and you can't make everyone be civil. I'm not saying you, like other people who can't make them. But there are a number of flat earth channels where the guy, the pondling, will be a civil guy. And those guys will tend to have more civil people in the chat. So just so you know. Auntie Meg, yes. You're one of them. Yes, I know. Okay, so also, slight tangent. After I just said I'm only going to cover one thing at a time, but now I'm going to make a small tangent. I don't know what's been happening. I've been writing replies to people, and then going back to see if they've replied to my reply, and my reply is not there. My original reply. Oh, geez, that was really well put. I gave myself a pat on the back for that. So, Auntie Meg, I'm not sure if I replied to you. I think I did. Regarding the water and all of that. Yeah. Gold is gold. It isn't something else. Water is water. It isn't something else. Fluoride is fluoride. It isn't something else. You're welcome, H2O water. Flat sir, anyone seen the video from Saudi showing a dark ball object in the middle of the sun? When you have a dark ball, when you have a dark circle in the middle of the sun, it's not an actual vortex, it's not an object blocking the sun, it's the camera. I forget what the term is for it, but it's basically the camera making sure it doesn't burn itself out. Yes. Adrian Franizek writes, friend of mine suffers terrible headaches for over 2 years. I'm about to recommend Daith or Daith. Is it still helping you? This is a Daith piercing. I have not had a migraine since. I have had headaches, but they don't compare. And it's not been severe headaches. And it's been mainly from severe lack of sleep and no migraines. I at one point I consumed something that in the old days would have driven me to a 3-day long migraine. And I didn't have a migraine, but I had, it's really strange. When you have a migraine, you have the pain, but then you have the massive distraction and the blurred sight and yeah, mainly distraction and blurred sight and loss of appetite. I didn't have the pain after I consumed this thing that triggered migraines in me. I didn't have the pain, but I had the distraction and the blurred sight. It was really interesting because I was fully aware. It's like, I feel like this is a migraine but without the pain. And then turned out I consumed something that I shouldn't have consumed. Flat Earth data, yeah, that was fun. Oh, okay. Andy H writes, with all the respect I can gather, I'm all up for considering arguments for flat Earth, but arguing pure chemistry is a non-starter. We know exactly what water is and what it isn't. Okay. So Andy H, do we know what gold is and what it isn't? And I'm saying this literally straightforward, and I'm going to wait for your response, okay? To Andy H, do we know what gold is and what it isn't? Chrissy Lynn, good luck with the house buying. So Dave Piercing, yes. Also, tell your friend if he's or she has been suffering for migraines or very severe headaches for 2 years. Check that they haven't done something like changed their phone to a DECT phone, you know, a cordless phone. Check that they haven't done that, and check that they haven't got transferred Wi-Fi so it's on the other side of the wall from where they sleep. Okay, now Andy H replies, in terms of elements, yes. So the question was, do we know what gold is and what it isn't? And Andy replies, in terms of elements, yes. Okay. Secondary question to Andy H. How did gold become gold? Oh, wait a second. So the dark orb in front of the sun was during the eclipse. And it was the eclipse. I'm going to give you a wrench so you can paste a link. Okay, so face, I've given you a link so that you can, I've given you a wrench so that you can paste a link, and then I will show the eclipse. Salt is so good for you. Remember not long ago, at least in the UK, there was a campaign against salt. A huge campaign against salt. It's like, wow, that's just absolutely fascinating. Andy H replies, regarding the question about salt, gold. We know what gold is and what it isn't. It's an element thought to be created from supernova nucleosynthesis, I believe. i.e., gold is an element. That's right, it is an element. How did it become that element? Because the idea, supernova nucleosynthesis, so let's be word salady, isn't it? Nucleosynthesis, is that in respect to the nucleus, so the center synthesizing, or a synthesizing through a nuclear reaction type event? In which case, great, let's make some gold. Oh, but you mean you might need a supernova amount. It's like, okay. So, and the H, that's hogwash. Okay. Supernova nucleosynthesis. Okay. No, not really. But let's say it was supernova nucleosynthesis. Somewhere in space, supernova explode and send out chunks of gold. I take it it's chunks, not like particles, okay? Let's say even it was particles. Particles, direction, over time, gravity makes chunks, nuggets, big boulders of gold. They travel through space, and they don't burn up as they enter Earth's atmosphere because it's gold. If anything, it would melt and then go back to being, well, gold. And crash onto the Earth, and when nobody's looking, and then sediment and time and layers and then ends up uh, in the side of mountains, deep underground. And you buy that, Andy H? You buy that idea? Andy H, I think Santa Claus made gold. I really do. I think Santa Claus made gold. Didn't have to go to any star. I think he makes gold by putting his hand in his pocket and taking it out, and it's full of gold. That's what I think. Don't really. What was I going to show? Oh yeah, the eclipse. 1 second. So Andy H, when you said we know what is and what isn't, you really don't, do you? Because when I said to you about gold, you started saying things that you don't know and could be demonstrated to be not the case. You know, by, well, replicating the conditions of a supernova. Doesn't have to have the same mass, just replicate the conditions. You know what temperatures and whatnot. Great, go ahead and make some gold. It's not true, is it now? So, considering that you think you know that about gold, an element, you think you know that, and you think you know about water. No. Water is an element just like mercury. I mean, not just like mercury, but you know what I mean. I'm looking for the video. Face, do me a favour, link the video again. I can't find it. Knowing is not, I have been told, writes Jaimito. Good man. So, not to pick on you, what was your name? Andy H. Andy H. Knowing is not, I have been told. But Andy H writes, which part isn't believable? You should be asking, which part isn't reproducible? Sherlock's Apprentice. I saw on Tomorrow's World years ago, if you put gold on a TV screen, it turns to lead. Okay. Let's see if you find it. That should be good. Okay. Yeah, it's the eclipse. The annual eclipse. Okay, just a second. Close. And I'm going to wrap this up, shortly, okay? This isn't going to be an endless hangout, because I'm watching The Irishman and it's good.
بداية الكسوف الحلقي كيف؟ الآن القمر يتوسط الشمس. يا سبحان الله. شو اللي لا؟ عكسي بالدوري. سبحان الله. توسط الآن القمر. توسط الشمس. سبحان الله. شوف العالم. العالم كيف؟
Back here. It's interesting how it dropped down into what was this?
الآن القمر يتوسط الشمس. يا سبحان الله. شو اللي لا؟ عكسي بالدوري.
Okay, just bear with me. Just want to check something. Mm. 21st of June, they will have another one. Another annular eclipse. Okay. But I want to see the past. Mm. They always do this. Why can't they why can't they show the eclipse as it happened in different locations? I put the United Arab Emirates. So they just show this, you know. Comes in and swings off. And the last part to be illuminated being here. But we just saw that wasn't the case with the actual eclipse from the United Arab Emirates. It's like sometimes I think they hedge bets more than make real predictions. This isn't coming in from the side. This has obviously come in from the top. And it's the top. Let me turn the audio down. We just saw on time and date that this is the region that would have the ring close. So here's where the ring is going to close. But we just saw that this was the region where the ring would close. Just about here. Well, it wasn't, was it now? And the amount of times that they just get eclipses wrong. They say, oh yes, this is the time. They usually get the time right. But the prediction of how it's going to happen, it's like, oof, no. And then they they have this get out clause, which is, oh no, well we're just doing an overall. It's if you're tracking like, you mean you've put a fantasy eclipse? Why didn't you predict the eclipse as it would be seen from the United Arab Emirates? Anyway, back to the chat. It was an interesting conversation with that gentleman who knows all about water. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you letting me have my say. Andy, dude, you're welcome to come here. You are. There are certain things that are fact. That's right, there really are. And I suggest you go to a better channel than this for your flat earth needs. Ho, ho, ho. Andy H. The people who are here because what I show isn't just words or ideas. I show things. Now, I think you might have gone already, but it doesn't matter. You'll probably come back to see how, how things went down. You're talking in a chat about somebody who shows things, who's shown something that you haven't seen because you came in late. That's the same as you walking into a lecture late and assuming that what you heard was the entirety of the lecture. It's not very bright. It's not how it goes down, is it? Anyway. H2, I did not say United Arab Subirats. I said United Arab Emirates. Let me see if somebody passed me something that was really cool. Let me see if I can find it. This goes to Barry Morris. I don't know. I will see later. I'll see later if that's Wolfie. He's got videos. He's shown his face. Oh, where was it? Oh, I don't have it. There's a really good photo of the eclipse seen past a with a oh, what are they called? They're wandering a camel and what I suppose is a Bedouin, and the eclipse, and it's such an awesome image. It's just a really cool image. If anybody in the chat knows what I'm referring to, please let me know. I'll give you a wrench, because it's such a good image. You have these really nice, clear filaments. Okay, so Groblings, waiting. Let's see how many. 9 apparently. Maybe a couple of disgruntled flat earthers. There's 165 of you watching. Guys, if you're watching this, chances are you're enjoying it. Otherwise, you would have not longer be watching. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Or give it a thumbs down. I'm not going to be told what to do by this guy. Thumbs down. anyway, I'm scrolling. I'm going to hang out another 5 minutes, see if somebody knows what photo I'm talking about. And I'm going to see if I can catch up with Orphan Red. My Skype is really playing up. It's such a... never mind. Fresh look at truth. I was confused because of the tilt, but this clears it up. What can I say? If you're going to debunk the model, you have to debunk the model. You know, you can't debunk. You can't do like they do. You know, when Vsauce debunked the flat Earth by saying the farther away you went from the North Pole, the more at an angle you would be. That's not debunking the flat Earth. That nobody has that idea of the flat Earth. Nobody thinks that the flat Earth works like that. Buildings would have to be angled away. Just like on the globe, they'd have to be angled away from plumb once you go up from the equator until you get to the North Pole or the South Pole on the globe. They would have to, well, be angled to reflect the balance between the vector for gravity and the vector for centrifugal force. Face. I'm going to take a look. Let's see if that's the one. Oh, wow. No, that's not the one, but that's an awesome image. Dude, I'm saving that. That's not the one, by the way. It's one, the guy is just sat on the ground and there are filaments shooting from beyond the hump, the camel's hump. So I'm checking to see if it's farther down. No, it isn't. Okay, but that's a really cool image. Where am I? Here. Thanks for that, face. H2O water. That is a good point. Okay, so H2O water is a globe link. H2O water. Right. And yes, I know that many globe believers group flat earth believers together, and I do not agree with that either. First, I'm going to point out, I'm not a flat earth believer. I'm a realist, and you have to accept reality the way it is. Not the way it presents itself. It presents itself a way because that's how it is. But there are other ways that you can see reality in ways that are not so obvious as just presenting themselves, like flat water and things like that. But the comment that made me chuckle, that made me think, yeah, I like this person, was, hey now, stop saying they. We aren't all in the same barrel. Globelings, they're not all in the same barrel. Ah, that's a good one. Cheers for that. Right. Okay, I'm removing your wrench face, just without prejudice. Just there you go. Rune Thorson. I'm looking for Rune Thorson. Rune Thorson. Andy H was all nice, and then go somewhere else. Andy H was a little bit embarrassed, a little bit flustered. My guess. It was like, they don't believe me. Like, no, this isn't a religion. We don't go around believing people. At least I don't. Although I have so many freaking times. I was going to say something about Picasso face, but I won't. Yeah, anyway. Right, guys, that's it. I said about 5 minutes. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't see the start, go to the start. I mean, this hangout is the basis for it, the reason for it. It's the start. It's in the start. So if you only watch a part of it and you don't watch that, you've missed the actual punchline. You've missed the meat of the argument. So I hope you go back and watch it. And if not, well, then you miss it, and then somebody else will point it out in the future, and you go, oh, I wish I'd known about this. Like, yeah, well, you were in the chat and the thing. Yeah, anyway, there you go. Oh, one more comment from Angel Fire. Yes, I told Andy Hayes that we're all listening to him because he had so much to say. H2O Water, I would really like to converse with you again at the Book of the Sun. This has been one of the better interactions I've had. Hey, maybe, yeah, I'd be glad to converse with you like this. Be glad to converse with you if you were to join me on a hangout. That would be fine. Yeah, but yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome here anyway. The Flat Earth channels where only Flat Earthers are in the chat. There's something cultish about that. Just saying, you know. So yeah, there you go. Everybody, Auntie Meg, good night. Good night to everybody else, not just Auntie Meg. Thanks for hanging out. And like I said, if you didn't watch the very first part, just watch them. You don't have to watch all of it, obviously. Just watch enough to go, oh, I see. This is why the Globalians will not respond to this. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. Hasta luego. Ciao and shalom.